My name is Edgar Barrera. I've been here 6 years. I've been an agent for 6 years, and the whole time here is with Keller Williams. And to touch on your guys' view that we've been talking a little bit. I also started out as a dual career agent, and I came from the food industry. So coming from the food industry to real estate is complete opposite ends. So I know the feeling, well, not exactly of a warehouse, but it's completely opposite of what I was used to. So it's very hard to get started, especially when you feel like you're a nobody when you're a group of 300 agents. So I know the feeling. So I've been here 6 years. First year and a half, I was dual career, just because I wasn't confident in myself to go out on their own. Once I finally made the decision to go ahead and do it on my own, I actually did what you were just asking. I went and looked for a mentorship, and I actually joined the team. A lot of people are always so concerned about like the splits, the fees, how much you're going to be taking. And in my honest opinion, when I went that, exactly, I could care less about the split. I could care less about how many leads they're giving me. I just want good training, one-on-one training, where I know I could pick up the phone and call that rainmaker and say, hey, what do I do here? Does that make sense?
Those are the numbers that they gave us, like kind of the 911 calls.
I think so. Yeah. So I went on that team, and I was there. I told him I would commit to 1 year to help him out with whatever he needed. And this was an agent who's like consistently closing 5 or more deals every month. So obviously, like I said, just make sure you get a good one.
Yeah.
And obviously, Wes or Erica would be the best to pick their brains, because they're consistently asking, what do you need help with your business with? So if you're not raising your hand and asking for that type of help, how are we going to help you? Does that make sense? So I did that for a year. I was on a team, and then I went off on my own. Now it's been 2 years that I've been on my own. 2 years? 1 year. 1 year that I've been on. 2 years, actually, because of COVID. COVID knocked everything over. So, but I love doing open houses. I need to get back into the routine of doing an open house. But when I first started, every weekend that I could, I was doing an open house just to get the exposure. And the best success story that I had is I did get 3 listings from one open house.
Oh, wow.
3 listings. I was a brand new agent, and it wasn't even my listing. So there's a short video that I'm gonna play. If I can figure this out. I don't really teach Ignite a whole lot often, because I was under the assumption that it was like 4 hours long. I'm actually very shy. I hate being the center of attention. But Wes twisted my arm a little bit, and he's try 2 hours. And I said, okay, I think I can handle 2 hours. So yeah, feel free, ask any questions. I don't mind helping you guys one bit. Honestly, my number is up there. Seriously, save it in your phone. Save it in your phone. Call me, text me. I love helping you guys out.
Another 18 contacts I have. She was talking the other day about your network, make your network. How many contacts?
So.
Oh no, thank you. Okay, thank you.
They're pretty warm, so
Thank you so much. This one's good. It's got some deep.
they're really good.
Hello, friends. My name is Carter Williams, and welcome to Night Lab on KW Connect, Connect Live and KW Connect. So today we're going to be talking about open houses and using open houses as a lead generation mechanism for you. So we're going to spend the next hour together talking about three essential topics. Number one, the 3 P's of doing an open house, and that's to prepare, prospect, and pursue, and of course, talk about best practices to execute a flawless and excellent open house. So I'm so excited to be sharing this with you guys today because I believe open houses are a great way to build success for agents, especially as you're starting out a business. And so we're going to break down how to execute a great open house for you today so that you'll have some great tips that you can walk away with as we leave this class today and be able to execute and begin to use this to build your business. So, and of course, along the way, as we're going through this, I'm going to have a few pro tips that we'll be able to share as we go through the content and make sure that this is a great use of your time. And so as we are, as we're starting our time together today, I want to make sure that we get a great use of our time and make this as interactive as possible, knowing that the more we participate, the more active we are here, the more we're going to learn, the more we're going to take away. So if you are in the classroom with us today, feel free to go ahead and turn your camera on if you haven't already. And when you want to interact, feel free to raise your hand and then use the microphone, the green button there, press it down and feel free to speak with AHA's questions. And we'll have some fun there. And of course, if you're on KW Connect, feel free to use Slido, and our code today on Slido is 1437. So 1437, use that to participate on Slido if you're on KW Connect. So again, goal today is to make this about you guys and to make sure you get a great value for your time that you're using today doing this. So we can have the opportunity in this class to tailor some of our discussions based on the folks that we have both in the classroom and on KW Connect Live. So what I'd love you to do is go ahead and use the chat box to let me know how long you've been at Keller Williams and maybe how long you've been in real estate. Go ahead and start typing that in now and just say hello and look forward to having you.
Okay, I was under the impression that this was like a minute video.
It's an hour.
It's an hour. We're not doing that. So I'll go over what I do at my open house, how I prepare for them, how I look for them. I'll just cut it down for you guys. Is you guys okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah, feel free to stop me at any time. Yeah, real life situations, how I actually got the 3 listings. Okay, so up until this last C meeting, I was in the impression that we can host an open house for anybody and everybody as long as they're registered with the Metro checks. Kim Tarver did confirm it. We cannot. We can only host an open house for KW agents. So KW Southlake, KW Arlington, as long as they're KW agents, we can host an open house. So if you go down this line, all these offices, just knock on the doors. If you don't know who to find, just knock on the door. Another way to find out who has listings, if you go on Netris, I'm actually registered in the West Fort Worth office, or our office is a whole lot smaller than this bigger office. But once everybody recognizes this page, right? If you look right here, it has my listings and it also has my office active listings. This pulls up everybody's listing in this office. So if you look right there, you know, some of them are commercial, some of them are single family leases. There's also land. Nobody has land, at least in the West Fort Worth office right now. But let's just say you're just curious to see what kind of listings are out there for our office. Let's just take this one. 2313. I just listed this house today and I'm actually going to be hosting an open house this weekend. So this one I'm going to be using quite a bit to refer on how I host my open houses. Oh, I was not trying to do that. Yes, ma'am. Oh, it's okay.
You're just totally blowing my mind.
It's okay, no problem.
Oh, but I shared it over here. Oh, okay.
Let me ask them.
What is this website?
Let me ask them real quick.
And then you have to be like registered.
This is the you get the Metro text.
Yeah, you have to be on profile. I haven't done that, but I saw.
Okay. So once you pass your license, get going, go meet with the board. You have to get registered to the board through Metro Text. They'll give you the access to Netris.
So did you just look to Metro and then open houses?
No. Netris right here.
That's easy.
Yeah, this is my account.
Oh, that's your account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you, do you know, have you passed your test? What's your name?
Oh, no, I have not done anything.
Nothing.
Like, I was told to come to 3 classes to see about how to be an agent.
Okay.
What it takes,
Mhm.
and so far I have gotten just feedback from current people that are.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, should I be here?
No, you're perfectly fine. You're
learning.
yeah. Well, everybody here is pretty much new, right? Like you said, June. How long? Anu? 2 months. You guys, you ladies?
Uh-huh.
A month? A month?
Same.
Month?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. See, everybody here is new, and
Yeah, I'm
then
the oldest person here.
yeah.
We're all
Well,
learning.
I look young.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah. So obviously, you have to, obviously pass your courses, pass your tests, do your finger checks, background checks. Once you get all past that, then your next step would be go register with the association, the board, either Fort Worth Association or Metrotex. There's Arlington board, I think, as well. They're the ones that will direct you. You'll get your actual license number, and then you'll actually be able to log into this. So like Zillow, Realtor, any type of online, they pull their data from here. So whenever a client reaches you and says, Zillow says this is why is Zillow behind? They say, I don't know. Zillow pulls their information from this. I actually pay for this in order for me from a license. Does that make sense? That's the biggest difference. Yeah, there's no other place because we input, we change the status. This is it. Netris. Okay.
And how was the tax? I mean, I've heard it was too hard.
Do not listen to people that say that. You're gonna go in and overthink.
Yeah.
It. There's really not.
It's really up to you. There's some people that passed the first time, and there's people like me, took me 3 times. But even if you took like 3 times, so what? You passed. Yeah. The next step, the next biggest hurdle is, can you actually survive? Like, I'm not trying to scare you guys, but do you know the statistic is for the first 2 years of realtors?
It's very low because people give up.
Correct. Correct. So you could be really good at taking tests, but can you actually draw in the crowd to get your business going?
I have nothing to do.
The more you consume, the better. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why I'm still with KW. We're consistently be teaching every single day. There's something here, go online and we can figure something out.
Got the best teacher ever. Bye, everyone.
Adios. So yeah, this is why, like I said, I love KW. We're consistently teaching. Even me as a veteran of 6 years, I still come in and teach or listen to basic classes because every time you hear it, you're gonna hear it differently. You're gonna hear something different. Like, have you ever rewatched your favorite movie?
All the time. I catch something.
Exactly. So if you're putting that much effort into a favorite movie, why aren't you putting that much effort into your career, right?
I do know that, but I also do know that these trainings are also available online too, right?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
one of the things I need to meet with someone to go over because when I joined, I got sent so much stuff.
There is.
I have no idea what any
It
of
can be
it is.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
The best person to talk to, have you met Christina?
Is she the tech lady?
Yes, ma'am.
I have been trying to, but she doesn't have any online appointments that correlate with my schedule. So I was told Jennifer set me up with an appointment outside of that scheduling, and she ended up being sick that day. So I need to get all in and reschedule.
Yeah, email her. She's amazing. She's super sweet. She's the sweetest lady ever. But yesterday, I saw her just walking in the hallway, and I said, "Hey, can you send me this video?" Bam, 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 right away. Yeah.
I think I have her email because when I first went to meet up with her, when I first joined, she was on vacation.
Right.
At Disney World.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be discouraged with anybody here. Even with our team leaders, Eric, Erica, Christina, Scott. Don't be discouraged. Remember, they're overseeing over 400 agents, not between just this office. They also have West Fort Worth. They also have Johnson County. I think there's a Cleburne office. There's Boat Club. So there's several offices. And just remember, if you combine them all together, all offices, there's probably close to like 500 to 600 agents. So don't get discouraged. Email them again, text them. Okay. So yeah, that's how you get access to this. That's how I would search back when I started. That's how I would search. Who has a listing that needs help? And then if you go to the bottom, right here, days on market. See this one's 0 because they just got listed today. So I would look for ones, all right, which listings have been sitting there for a while and might need some help. Okay. There's top producing agents that they have several listings that go live every week. For example, that lady that just walked through, her name's Flor Alvarado. She consistently has been listing properties ever since she started. So she doesn't have time to host an open house every single time. And she sometimes throws it out there on the Facebook business page or on the Onward group, who's available to host an open house. So if you want to follow up with somebody before it hits to that page, this is where you need to go. Right now in this market, 0. Yeah, because so for instance, when I go to a listing appointment and they agree that we're going to list, I always tell my clients, we're going to be listing on a Thursday. That way everything is active, fully loaded. We can recheck anything, whatever, fix it, get all the bugs out on Thursday. Friday morning, everybody who has an automatic search is going to get it in their email. New house just hit the market. And what does everybody do when they're at work? Check their email, especially when they're all happy. What house? Which house are we going to go look at? Mostly everybody is off during the weekend, so they're going to be scheduling for that weekend, right? So this is why I wait to a Thursday to list my properties. Friday it goes out. That's when I start seeing the notifications. You know, scheduled. And then also too, I don't have the chance, but when I do host an open house, you know, it gives me time to list a property, change all the statuses and put it on there. Open house Saturday, open house Sunday, whatever the case may be. Does that make sense?
It does. I was asking, like, when you said you would go through and look at the days on market, like at what point, how high are you talking about?
Oh, so back when I started 6 years ago, you know, they were on their 30, 40, 60 days. As long as they're past that 2-week mark, you know, obviously the house is sitting, it's no longer the hot house. So obviously those agents, they've already done their open house, so they wouldn't mind me coming in and asking them, you know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
was looking at your what's it called, percentages and stuff. Does a sub agent? So you have a sub agent? What is that? Is that a sub agent?
Yes. So this is if you're a realtor in the Metroplex here, Metroplex. Occasionally we get agents that are from Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, somebody not in this board. I'm still willing to pay them, but if they're not here in the Metroplex, who are they going to be calling to go open that house?
So you're gonna get the whole 5%?
Or me? Yeah. Unless they write it in the contract. But for them,
It's gonna be the one.
I'm going to be doing your work and you want to get paid the full 3%.
Okay.
It rarely happens, but it does happen.
Yeah, because on my,
Okay. I lost my train of thought now.
How many days in the market?
Days in the market, there's that. Oh, so once I have an idea, all right, this is where the house I'm gonna pick, the next thing that I'm gonna look at is I'm gonna pull up the address on the map. I want my houses to be near a busy street. I don't want it secluded into a community that's like all the way in the back. Have you ever been into those communities? You have to do like 10 turns just to get to the house. I'm not doing an open house there. This road right here, what's that? I can't even see. North Story Road, it's a busy road. So this is an ideal location for me to set up my signs. So typically I would start, I don't have the, I don't want to say I don't have the time, which I should make my time, but I typically would go door knock a couple days beforehand. I typically don't put out my open house signs before a Wednesday because a lot of times you're putting the streets or the signs out into the city streets. A lot of times the cities would come in and pick them up and throw them away. Or if there's like that medium where there's grass, If I see tall grass, I'm not putting a sign out there because I know the lawn people are gonna come and throw it away as well. Does that make sense? But just be careful when you put the signs out. If there's if it's in an HOA community, just make sure the signs are allowed. There are some communities that don't allow no signs at all, which makes it even more difficult.
So you have to check with the.
Correct. Just check with the listing agent, and if you're the listing agent, just make sure you talk with the sellers. Most of the time, they provide you the information of the HOA. Okay. So for this one, I would put just a couple signs. Somebody came and took my signs earlier. Another newer agent borrowed them, which I don't mind. But I said I'm going to need a couple because I'm going to put 2 signs here, and then 1 sign in front of the house. It's going to be really easy, right? If it was all the way in there, I would probably limit the number of turns, maybe like 3 or 4 at the most, before I would say it's not a good place to have an open house because people are going to get so lost following the signs. Does that make sense? Also, once you pick a good house that you think is going to be a good open house and you communicate back to that agent, if you're not the open agent, or if you're not the listing agent, they need to go in here and change and add that you're going to be hosting an open house. Okay. If they don't, Zillow's not going to pick it up. Realtors.com is not going to pick it up. All the major websites, nobody's going to be notified that they're going to be hosting an open house unless they're driving by. Okay. Most people these days, when they're out searching for a house, even if they're curious, they have an app searching for a house, right? So make sure it's on there. Right now, it's not on there. Let me see if I can edit real quick. And houses. There we go. So I'll be hosting the house on Sunday. Another agent will be hosting it for me on Saturday.
How much is this house that you're?
230.
That is close to the airport? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you show it for any kind of time? Do you choose the time?
Yeah. Some people host them during the week. Some people only during the weekends. It's really up to you when you want to host that open house. Okay. Typically it's 2 hours. Some people have done more than that. It's just really on your flexibility when you want to be out there. So that's the time she'll be there on Saturday. I would add another one right here. You can add another one. This is when I'll do mine, but I'll come back and do that later on. So that's how I pick my open house. Does that make sense? Okay. The next step is you want to prepare yourself for that open house. So the way I got the 3 listings out of one open house is I actually door knocked the neighborhood right before. Obviously, when I was a newer agent, I'm not one of those people that likes to be on the phone calls and call my sphere of influence. I'm very, like I already told you guys, I'm actually very quiet. So me calling out my sphere, I was very embarrassed. Okay, obviously I'm over that hurdle now because I've been doing it a while. But when I first started, I would do anything except call my sphere. Okay. And it's completely understandable. So what I would do to do a flyer, if you want to do a quick one, everybody remember this page once you log in? You have all these options. I actually go to Cloud CMA. And this is just a quick and easy way to do a flyer. There's other ways. I'm sure some people do prefer Canva. Canva's way over my head, so I don't mess with it. See? When you're right here, Metrotext.
Oh.
See the green one all the way at the end, Cloud CMA. Click on that. I already made it, but I'm gonna start a new one. Create new one. Flyer. I don't put anything private notes. Here is where I would pull the information. How do you copy? Right click, see?
Highlight it and then right click on it. And then go back to the view, put your cursor over it and then right click. And then
Copy. Thank you. See, I'm a Mac person, so I forgot how to use Windows. Okay, so then I just put the MLS number on here. You've got to fetch the listings. It's going to automatically pull it for you. There it is, 2313 Murrett Street, 230. Okay. We're going to customize the flyer. Just listed, so just real quick. The title. Open house. See? It automatically pulls all that information for you. Canva.
It does a lot. I went to a training class over it. The only reason it does pretty much anything you would want it to do.
Yeah. So there it is. It's pretty simple, at least for me, and I'm okay with it. I know some agents that pull up Canva, they add their picture, they add the logo, they add all kinds of stuff. To me, I maximize my time and I just go with something simple. Okay, so what I did back in the day was when I would go door knock, and I would just print this out. And I would give myself a goal, 50 of them, right? Because I had nothing else to do. I didn't want to call my sphere, so I would just print this out. So I would start at where that house is at and just go down the street. Knock on every single door. Okay.
So you were more comfortable talking to strangers than people you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm like that too. I don't
Then on
like.
the
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know what it is about just asking my people that I know.
I think it's a cultural thing, maybe. I think.
Not necessarily it's a culture thing. I think, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for them to be
Yeah. I think at the beginning, I think I just didn't want to be annoying because I felt like nobody wanted to talk to me. But in the reality was actually when you haven't met or haven't talked to somebody that's in your phone list, it's in a year,
Yeah.
how much has changed in a year? Just a quick reminder. For me, once I got over that hurdle was like, hey, this is Edgar. I used to work at In-N-Out Burger was the reason where I used to work. You know me as I used to work for In-N-Out Burger. I'm now a real estate agent. Once I got over that hurdle, people started remembering who's an agent that I know, right? And everybody knows you. Right? I'm going to use you as an example because I just talked to you. Everybody knows you because you work at a warehouse, right? They don't know you as a realtor yet. Exactly.
I know I had to go into the bathroom at work today and completely change everything. And the cleaning lady is like, oh, and I said, I have to go to my second job, not what we got the second job. Yeah, and we don't, I wear a hard hat and everything, safety vest and all this mess. So I probably come in here with hat, hair and everything.
Did you tell her what you did? Did you tell her what you did? Did you tell her what your other job was?
No, I do warehouse.
No. That lady you were
Oh,
talking
the
to.
lady? Oh, she knows me. She's the cleaning lady at the
No, but she knows you're a real estate agent now.
warehouse.
Though.
Yes, I did tell her that.
Yes. And that's another big hurdle too, is everybody you're talking to now I'm a realtor now. I'm a realtor now. I'm a realtor now. I'm a realtor now. I'm a realtor now.
I
You
mean,
have
I
you
don't
have
know
to
my shiny name badge.
you
just assume
really
it's
have
not
to
me.
rebrand your brain to let every single person know that you are a realtor now. Okay, you are a walking, talking billboard. And if they're not recognizing you as a realtor, you are failing as a realtor. Okay.
Okay, there was a lady from this office,
Mhm.
Alma, and she, whenever she did the Canva training too, when we were there doing.
Mhm.
With the little hang tags that say popping through to blah, 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 with just her information. And she just goes and puts them on random neighbor. I guess they go to them in random neighborhoods. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be more comfortable doing something like that, where I don't actually have to talk to people, but they just, like, I'm not like you guys. I don't want to go knock on some stranger's door and be like, hey.
And so that's the next thing we're going to talk about is like and using my group for Bold, and we're always talking about, you got to practice your scripts. If you're not practicing your scripts on how to handle or how to ask questions or make any type of conversation about real estate, you need to get in here more often to figure out how to make these conversations.
When do you get those?
There should be some in the Ignite book.
Having them. Oh.
I just seen hers, so I don't know.
So can you download from the training? Okay, just.
Oh, there you are. Did you hear me call your name? Oh, I was talking about your popcorn thing the first time I met you. Oh, pumpkins now.
Yeah. So yeah, there should be scripts in there, especially the ones for open house section. No.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I'll find it.
But I'm more than happy to go over a script right now.
Yeah, I think that we're out of those is the problem. But
Okay.
I'm sure we can get some copies made, right?
Okay, I got two.
Yeah, you're hogging them all, I know.
I have it on here.
Yeah, I have it online.
Yeah.
So that's all I would do. And literally out of that one open house, I literally hit 3 doors, like literally right after each other. All 3 of them were interested in selling. Yeah. Yeah. So to me, as a newer agent, I felt like I hit the gold mine, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't list right away. Some of them listed within like 2 months. Another one listed like 6 months later. And another one listed 3 years later. But I got their information and I followed up with it. And one of them turned into an investor, and I've listed, he became my biggest cheerleader, meaning he has sent me the most clients. I've sold 3 of his properties. I've helped him buy all 3 of those properties. So you just be surprised at the random people you'll meet. Now, trust me, there is some jerks out there that would just literally slam the door and say, get off my property. Obviously, I don't want to do business with them, so I'm not going to come back. Does that make sense? So basically, all I would take when I would door knock, print out my flyer, and I would take a book like the Bold book we have and write down their information. So if somebody's interested, I would pull out my book. Not necessarily pull out my book. Sometimes I would just pull out my phone and I said, what's a good contact that I can give you my information through? I don't think I told you, but I was talking to somebody else. I don't really hand out my business cards because most people, they throw them away, right? I said, pull out your phone and I'll send you my information right now. Please confirm that you have it. Yeah, I'm going to go over that again in a minute. Yeah. So that's how they get my information, right? And then in that in the journal, I would write down their property address and later on save it. Does that make sense? So the conversation that I would have with them, start off with this. Hey, I'm hosting an open house at 2313 Marriott Street. If you're ever curious of what your house is worth, here's a similar house in your neighborhood. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Feel free to stop by. That's it. That's my opening script, right?
Will you tell us how to clean out this
Cleaner, right in the office.
Yeah, as long as your laptop's hooked up, you should be able to save it. print it.
So we just save and print.
Mhm. Okay, so with that conversation, that's my opening script. If they were friendly, if they seemed like they were interested, I would continue the conversation. If they seemed rude, if they even took the flyer, great. If not, I move on. I always left the flyer there if they didn't open the door. You cannot touch their mailbox. Okay, so if you're ever door knocking, do not leave your flyer on the mailbox. Okay. The city of Fort Worth does want you to have a door knocking permit. So if you're door knocking in the city of Fort Worth, make sure you have it. Okay.
So we just go to.
Yeah, you just go down to the city, just register.
You can find it online.
More than likely, yeah, everything you can do online. I think when I did it, it was like $40. It wasn't a whole lot.
It's a permanent.
No, yeah, I think you gotta renew it like every year.
You can run your background.
No, they just ask what business do you have, where your office is at.
And I'm
That's-
thinking I would feel more comfortable with people coming and knocking on my door randomly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know we do.
We do it all the time, but if you don't feel sketchy, well, now that you don't know what you don't know, right? If somebody comes knocking your door and if you don't feel comfortable, ask them for their permit. If they don't have one, ask them for their business cards and then report them.
If they have signs.
No, well, me personally, I wouldn't mess with it because I'm already getting a bad vibe from them. No soliciting. It could be a nurse. It could be the nicest person, but could be a night nurse that just got off work. It could be they just had a new baby and they don't want to wake them up. I remember when my kids were baby. When I finally got them down, I was like, yes. Somebody comes knocking on the door. I wouldn't be too happy to answer that door. So yeah, if you see those signs, respect them. Does that make sense? Remember, I treat my clients the way I want to be treated. So, okay. So yeah, so if they would pursue, if they were friendly and if I chose to work with them, I would continue the conversation. How long have you lived at this property? Have you ever thought about selling? If you could sell, where would you move to next? What's something that you love about this area? It's just question after question after question after question. I knew it was there yesterday. I can ask questions all day long. Yesterday we had a competition of who can ask the most questions. I won. So yeah, it's just getting to know them. But if you're not practicing your scripts, how are you going to learn what kind of questions you need to ask? Does that make sense?
On the scripts, there's more scripts, but is it like
Not necessarily. We offer them here through KW, but honestly, most of my stuff, I consistently been listening to YouTube. Anything that has to do with real estate, I'm literally watching every single day.
That's what I did when I was practicing. I was listening to practice exams all day on YouTube.
And my wife hates it because like literally we're laying down in bed and I'm like literally watching a YouTube video, something to do with real estate. But like I said, if you're not consistently learning, are you going to get any better at it? It depends on what you're wanting to do with real estate. I also invest. I have rental properties. So I'm looking both ways.
I intend to get into short-term rental investing.
I have an Airbnb. I have a long-term rental. I have my primary residence. I'm waiting to hear back on another duplex that I just put an offer in. So wholesaling. Flipping houses. Yesterday I used a term that nobody knew what it was: house hacking, burst strategies, hard money lenders, private money lenders.
I know that strategy, but I
House hacking. So it's not fit for everybody, but if you have like a young buyer, like a really young buyer, and they're single with no kids, or maybe they have a significant other, I always tell them, don't go for like a big house, go for like a duplex. If you're willing to live in a duplex for a couple of years, not even that, a year, think about it. Okay, I'll give you some numbers. The duplexes that I'm looking at right now, they're offering me for $175. Both sides are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. Yes. And so if the owner is willing to owner finance, which is amazing for me, if he says yes, my payment to him for both sides is going to be $875.
Not even rent.
Or newer
Correct.
people live in one side and they rent out the other and it pays the mortgage.
Correct. So pitch this idea. This person already has pre-approved, right? They're going to do the same thing. They're going to go find them a duplex. Their mortgage is going to be $1,100, both sides, give or take. They rent the one side. Let's just say it's $1,000, right? They're left with the $100 balance, right? Now he's single. He doesn't have any kids. He's got an extra bedroom because he already moved in. He rents it out to his buddy for $600. He's making money, but he's in that mentality. Hopefully, he's into that mentality that he's still paying his mortgage. So he's paying himself another separate account, the extra fees. He does it for a year, $1,000. That's $12,000 that he just set aside, right? 1 year. There's your next down payment for your next house. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. He buys duplexes for 5 years. That's $10.
Yeah.
How much money is he making? Does that make sense?
You take your profit out of that. But I see, I mean, I just hear you paying something.
So your mortgage is $1,100. If you're making $2,000 after both sides pay you rent, you're netting $900.
But you're putting it.
Yeah, that $900, instead of going out and buying a PlayStation 5, you're saving it, right? You gotta be smart with your money. But finding a young teenager, a young kid to save his money versus going out and spending it, now that's the key thing, right? Not everybody can do it. Okay. Yeah. So those are the conversations you should be having with amongst each other. Like, look around. You guys should be passing out y'all's information. When I came to KW 6 years ago, the very first person that I sat in the back of the room with was Wes Griffin. Yep. Me and him, he was finishing up Ignite and I was just starting Ignite. It was his last class and it was my first class. Yep. Ever since then, we kept in contact. Even when Wes was a dual career agent, we were still keeping in contact. Anybody in that first Ignite class that I was here with, I was exchanging my information, we were exchanging informations, and we were passing ideas amongst each other. What are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? I just got my first listing. What do I do next? Even though we heard it through the Ignite, but it helps because we were also new. We're not embarrassed of asking those questions, right? And back to you, what they were telling you is get into the office, talk to people. That is 110% true. Almi, that girl right there, she just came and talked to. She's always in that coffee lobby. She's there every single day. Every single day. And she is the sweetest person ever as well. She'll answer your questions and help you out as much as possible. Almi. My office is right here. Once you cross this hallway, first door on your right. If my door is open, feel free. Ask me any questions you have. Phone number's right there. Ask me. Because literally, we take pride of seeing other agents succeed. Okay, and you're not going to find that at any other brokerage. There are some that are cutthroat, really cutthroat. I've heard. I've never been, but I've heard. Okay. Yeah, and then once you get their information, you have their phone number, you got their email, you have their address because you wrote it down. Put them in your database. Command. Okay. Set it up on a schedule. Once every 3 months, once every month. It just depends on when they're looking to sell. Even if they're not looking to sell, eventually, 5 years on the road, 6 years on the road, they'll sell. The statistic for a homeowner is like 7 years. Millennials, even younger, are like 3 to 5 years. Just keep thinking about that, right? Okay. So that's how I got my 3 listings out of 1 open house. Okay. Now, another thing you should prepare for. You guys are all new agents. There's a list out there. I don't even know how to get a hold of this list, but there's lists that show new agents and all their phone numbers. Title companies will get those lists. Lenders will get that list as well. And you'll receive random phone calls saying, hey, so-and-so with da-da-da mortgage. When's a good time to meet me and you can sit down and have some lunch together and me explore those options for you. I always took them up because 1, I got a free lunch out of it. I was broke. I had no money for lunch. I took them up, right? The next question that you should be asking them, what are you going to do for my business? What can you help me with my business? These copies, right? They're like 10 cents a page, full color copies. Obviously, when I was new, you kept tabs on that because it can get pretty pricey. But now you have a sponsor. Now they took you out to lunch. What can I do for you to help you out? Send them this flyer. Or just send them the listing, the MLS number, and say, can you co-brand this with both of us? For them, it's a win-win because obviously it gets their information out and it's costing them, if it's costing them anything. I don't know, some people get them for free. They're doing all the printing out for you.
Last time I was here, I don't remember the name of the title company. I'm in her Facebook group and they do free trainings. It's like at least once a week. That's where they do campus training.
Yeah. Have you guys met Noelle?
No.
The Noelle, she's in the office. She used to be a teacher.
Yeah.
She does a whole lot of events and she's partners up with the company.
So title companies and lenders will do stuff like that, both of them?
Because they're also rebranding themselves. Okay, so that's how you can do cheap flyers literally at no cost. Okay. Also ask them, especially the lenders, some of them don't work weekends, some of them do. When you're out meeting, getting to know these lenders, do you work weekends? What are your hours? Do you work realtor hours? Right, that's the key question right there. Do you work realtor hours? Because even if they don't help you with an open house, like if they want your business, you better be answering your phone call when I call. And for me personally, I keep tabs with that. I understand you have a life, but at the same time, you're calling me asking for my business. If you're not returning my phone call within 30, 45 minutes, something's off. We're not on the same team. Okay.
And do you usually stick with one lender, one or two, or you do just whatever?
I have a variety. So when you have a buyer's consultation, that's how you find out which lender is going to be best. Okay. So back to those lenders helping you out, ask them, would you be willing to sit in an open house with me? Because people come in all the time unrepresented and not even pre-approved. And also, everybody here, I don't know who's on Zoom, but most of you guys are ladies. Safety is always in the back of your mind, right? And if there's somebody there with you, something, not saying it is, but less of a chance, right? There's 2 of you, you and the lender. Okay. Also too, you can also partner up with another realtor if you don't feel comfortable, partner up with somebody and split the leads. Okay. I've had lenders bring water bottles, bring the cookies, bring everything that I need. And even in the water bottles, they had the time to where they took off the label and put my face with my information on there. Yeah. So, like I said, those blocked calls or unknown numbers, you're a realtor now. You should be answering every single phone call now. Every single phone call. Right? You're a walking, talking billboard. Okay. You never know when the next lead's gonna be coming in. Not yet.
A ton of Robert emails.
Yeah, not yet, but they'll come. And if you don't have anybody, if nobody's reached out yet, we have a whole wall list of vendors. Okay, reach out to somebody. Even if it's your small local bank, somebody there's new people all the time. They're just starting in mortgages, they're starting in title companies. They just want to get the foot in the door just like you, right? Network with have you ever seen like social hour at 5 to 7? As a newer agent, I would go to them just to meet people, meet lenders. And once they find out you're new, they're going to swarm to you because obviously they're going to want your business. And that's another way to reach out and talk to them.
That's been my problem is most schools are different.
No, some of them are in the evening.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
look at worse than evening ones. Where do I find those?
Facebook pages, not just KW onward groups. There's like other ones. Like when I'm not in bold is every Wednesday. I go to one called Fort Worth Property Tour Group. It's every Wednesday, and we meet at Old South Pancake House. Fort Worth Property Tour Group. Yeah. Yeah, we meet over there every Wednesday at like 9 a.m. There's a sponsor, and I know. I know, but there's other ones throughout, but that's the one I go to every Wednesday, 9 a.m. I bring $3 and I get a breakfast. Somebody will pick up the tab, either lender, title company, inspector, whatever the case may be.
So they come and do a presentation?
It's like not even a presentation. It's like 5 minutes you get to talk and pick up everybody's tab. But the main thing is you get to know them.
Edgar,
Yes, ma'am.
so how do you get involved to join one of those meetings at the Fort Worth?
So like that one in particular, you just show up. And then when you get to walk in, just say, I'm here with the Fort Worth Property Tour Group, and they'll direct you. Just once you walk into that Old South Pancakes, straight ahead, all the way to the back, and just take a seat.
And you say it's on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and where's the location?
Wednesday, 9 a.m., Old South Pancakes University.
I don't know what that's at. Oh, you said, that's the name of the building, Old South Pancakes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I probably can Google it. And this you said every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday, 9 a.m.
Okay, I'll be there next Wednesday. Well, not next Wednesday, but following Wednesday after the holiday.
Yeah, they probably won't meet next Wednesday because of Thanksgiving.
The holiday,
Yeah.
The 1509 South University. I got it.
Yes, ma'am. Do you mind if you put it in the chat box for everybody?
Oh yeah, I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This weekend I have Leah.
Okay. She gave okay.
Yeah, she's a small petite girl.
She's really awesome.
She's got like her length of hair. Yeah.
She came on Saturday. Will you be on Saturday? No? Okay.
Yeah.
She's really.
Yeah, look her up on Facebook, Leah Camacho. She's another agent here in the office. I remember last week she was asking me if I had any open houses, and then I promised her this one. Me? I'll be there Sunday. Yeah. I'll be there Sunday. She'll be there Saturday. Yeah. If you guys want to come, if you guys want to swing by on Sunday, I'll be there from 11 to 1. Yes, ma'am. Which lender you used for your photo? Oh, I don't remember. Jamie?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Jamie, I don't remember. It was like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. So, do you have another question?
You said you're gonna be there from 11 to 1. I would like to stop by, but I just I couldn't hear you because my baby was
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'll be there Sunday from 11 to 1. On Saturday, Leah Camacho will be there from 12 to 3.
and what's the address?
Right there, 2313 Moret Street. It's
Right
that
where?
flyer.
Oh,
This
this one.
flyer.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Edgar, do you hire people to take those pictures or you take it?
No, definitely not me.
Okay.
I always hire a professional to take these pictures. Remember, you're selling almost $250,000 in property. If you don't know anything about photography, you should not be taking those pictures, right? That, and it's also reputation. I hire Damian Marks.
I'm sorry, but how much do you pay for it? Like.
It depends on what I need to be done. Simple pictures, I think 25, it's $100. If you want more, it's a little bit extra. I don't remember, but most of the time it's just basic because most of these houses are not higher end. So just basic package is fine with me. Occasionally, I do hire like drone because of the area. That's an additional $100.
With him as well.
If you don't have time to set up the stand, the blue box, I would tell him, come by the office and pick it up and he'll do it for me. That way it saves me a trip. Let me give you Damien's information. Damien Marks, his phone number is 817-454-9007. Okay. And he's usually fairly quick. He knows I list my properties on a Thursday, so I need the pictures back by Wednesday. So he's either there Monday or Tuesday. He's fairly quick, 24 hours. You'll get him back. Okay. Okay, so now with the sign-in sheets, some people are very fancy and very tech savvy, and I've seen people take their iPads and they have an app specifically for that. Me, I am not that person. I am very old school. Plus another thing too, a lot of my listings are, I have other ethnicities coming in. For me, mostly Hispanics. Obviously, a lot of them, they don't even know English. So me handing them an iPad, they wouldn't have a clue what to do with it. So there's my sign-in sheet. Very simple. 4 questions. Nope. It's just name, email, phone number. Are you looking to buy a house? Sell a house. That's it. I don't know if you guys can see it through Zoom, but that's it. So what I do, I just print this out and I cut it into 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want it, but I just go in there with that butcher block thing and just cut them up. Another reason why I like this form is because you're talking to every single person that comes into that house. And if you have a laptop or if you have the iPad, how are you going to remember all the notes you took? So as soon as that person, I'm done talking to that person and they go through the house, I flip that paper around and I take my notes down. Whatever the conversation was, I take it down right there and then. That way I don't forget about it. Okay. I do not take the flyers no more. I used to. Yeah, remember I printed these out and I went to go door knock. I make sure I ran out and I don't have any left over during that open house. A lot of people are asking for them, but I do not have any because it goes the same thing with my business cards. Most people will grab it, crumple it up, toss it. Now this is where I talk about my app. Instead of saying, all right, I'll give you this paper, I said, pull out your phone or what's your phone number? I'll actually send you the direct link online and it will give you all the information you need. That way you can send your app. Correct. It's all through text message. Does that make sense? Okay. But I will have everybody sign in. That is one thing. At your buyer's consultation, when you guys have one, I always tell my clients, you're more than welcome to go to an open house, but do not leave your information with them or else they're going to blow up your phone. Sometimes I'll tell them, you can sign in, or if they tell me I'm already working with an agent, that's fine. Put your agent's information. That way I won't bug you. That's perfectly fine. Okay. But if you're not training your clients, how are they going to know? Right. So that's one of those key things I make sure I go over at a buyer's consultation. That's just the same thing when I tell them, do not go into a model home of a brand new house because then I can't represent you. Okay. So my follow-up after I get their information, obviously put them on command, follow up with them. Even those conversations while at that open house, if you're not practicing your scripts, what kind of questions are you asking those people walking through the door? Are you approved? Are you working with the realtor? If they say yes, I'm still going to ask you, have you signed anything with that realtor? It could be just a random phone call they made to Zillow and that agent say, all right, call me whenever you're ready. In their head, they are working with the realtor. But if they haven't said anything, it's a free game. You can follow up with them. Ask them, who do you pre-approved with? What type of financing are you getting with? Are you in conventional, FHA, VA, are you paying cash? What are you looking to do? Are you looking to move in yourself? Are you using it as investments? Are you looking for hard money lenders to become a flipper? You know, there's all kinds of questions, and you can have these conversations all day long, but if you're not prepared for them, how are you going to capture it, right? Leave that lasting impression to where they'll remember you, okay? It's very rare that you're going to actually put in an offer for a house that you host an open house. It does happen, but it's very rare. Most of the time, it's not going to fit their criteria. Probably like 98% of the time, it's not going to fit the criteria, okay? For the sellers, you know, when you explain that, I don't even necessarily explain it, but I just flat out tell them, I was like, we can host an open house, but most of the time, we're not sure if it's gonna be the right buyer for this house. Most people are just curious, they're looking to lose, which is what we want. We want the most exposure as possible, but, you know, explain that to your seller, you know. So that's it. Sign in sheets right on the back, door knocking, sign placements. Oh, open house signs. I already told you where I would put them, by the main roads. Don't go way into the neighborhood. You can buy the open house signs. You can have them custom made, but I don't suggest you do that right off the bat, because like I said, if you put them out too soon, somebody's gonna steal them. The city's gonna take them. Another angry agent might take them as well, because it could be their farming area, whatever the case may be. I go buy some at the Greater Fort Worth Association, and they're like $5 a sign. So they're not expensive, but they go missing. Oh well, just tacked right off. So that's where I buy my signs. You can go to Home Depot, but they're very small. Like I said, you can go online and customize them if you want, but they can be pricey. Greater Fort Worth. Greater Fort Worth Association. It's like on the Trinity. We're here on the 30th.
Yeah, it's pretty close to
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be colored.
Not the open house signs, the sign in the yard with all your information, that has to happen.
Where do you get that one? Your information, the one that you have to order.
Yeah, there's a generic one here that they keep. I think they're like $50 for a brand new one. Sometimes they get used ones for like 25. I ordered mine online.
I got a postcard today from a place that had all the colorways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some that we've branded with, and you go on their website and it has all the branding already. You just upload your picture or whatnot. Yeah, and then there's also. Go ahead.
She said fast signs is one of them.
No, let me see if I can find it real quick. But there's also like local signs too, local sign companies that can do it. Like literally, I walked in one day and I literally pulled up an email. The person that was there, he like literally pulled it, uploaded it. Buildasign.com. Buildasign.com. So just to give you an idea, for my two signs, I pulled up an invoice. 2 signs, have them made, have them shipped, was $313. Yeah, custom made. That's what I said. If you're new, just go right here. Generic.
Yeah.
There's a sign writer that you can get for like $25. Just go to like local print shop. Just give them the dimensions. Yeah, and then also too, like I don't know where, but I got one that was like super beat up. I literally just pulled it out of the frame, took it to a sign shop, and I said, "Can you just make one for me, brand it to me?" And that was like $75. It wasn't a whole lot. Yeah. So there's all kinds of ways to do that. But just make sure. For an open house? Yeah. Like this weekend, for this weekend, I haven't reached out to any of my lenders or anything. I'm just gonna do it on my own. a case of water. That's it.
What were you saying, the sign? You mean like that sign?
Oh yeah. Well, the signs I already bought them. Yeah, I just reuse this.
We're talking about
The main one, yeah, but you have to have all this.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So like if you're a newer agent, like for instance, I already told you somebody came to my little office right here, and they took most of my signs because I didn't need them. So you can borrow some of other agents' signs, just make sure you return them, obviously. Yeah. Like I told her, I was like, here, go at it. Feel free, take as many as you want. Just make sure you bring them back. I took my 5 that I needed, and that was it. So just to get started, you don't need a whole lot. Now, if you really want to put the money into it, obviously go to Fort Worth and buy them, like I said, $5 each.
Do they sell the super boxes over here too?
Mhm.
Like used maybe, or?
No.
they're new?
I don't think they're used.
Oh, okay, but
'Cause
they
most-
sell them here as well.
Yeah. Most people, they hold on to them.
Okay.
Uh,
To buy the super box? Yes.
when you have a listing,
And
yeah.
over there, the realtors, they're like 100 and something, right?
Yeah, they're the same price here.
Same price here.
I just bought one. It was $130.
Something like that. I asked, and I was like,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Depending on how many houses.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, you don't need them. You don't need to buy it like right now unless you have a listing coming up.
Yeah.
There is a cheaper method, but I don't really recommend it because they're really easy to break into.
Is it a combo box?
Yeah.
I played one.
Yeah, there's some. You can go to Walmart. I think they're like $20 for
Oh,
those
were they for those,
those-
the combo?
combo codes. I don't know. They might.
But that's if you're doing that as a favor, like if he has a house and you need somebody to go open the door for somebody, then you.
Yeah, like for example, that guy who does pictures, like I told, he'll go put the lockbox, he'll put the sign out there for you. But it's my actual lockbox because it's registered. Everybody has that app on their phone to get into them. That lockbox is registered to that app. So that's why I'm saying I don't think you can borrow them. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, obviously things change. Yeah. So there might somebody you can always ask. How many do you need to buy? You can buy it here.
Where's here?
Colby. Colby.
Oh, and how many?
Yeah. Unless you're a listing machine and you got 5 listings.
I wish it was.
Not yet.
I
Right?
can't.
Not yet. Yeah, I think I have like 4. It depends on the city. So Fort Worth, for this one, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. Obviously, I could be wrong. Correct. Out of the 6 years that I've door knocked, I've never had anybody ask me for it. But obviously, I have to disclose that some cities do require it. Fort Worth for sure. Obviously, I live in Fort Worth, so I know that Fort Worth requires it. I don't live in Irving, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. So, but I'm sure if you call, you can just ask. Okay. Yeah, so that's blue box. Set them up. Oh, Sundays. Make sure that the Cowboys are not playing. Yeah. Yeah, make sure the Cowboys are not playing because yeah. So that's why I made sure mine was like 10-1. Yeah. Remember your yeah. You want the most broad, so like the most broad, most people are not on the streets during the Cowboy game. Like if you've ever been to the supermarket the day of the Cowboy game, it's jam-packed.
Yeah.
Cowboys are playing, nobody's there. Okay. All right, so now you've done that. So now, sorry, I'm going back and forth. The marketing. Once I've downloaded this and now I'm ready to print them out, I will also save it and I will upload it to my Facebook business page. That's another way I'll market it. Obviously, I'll put it on my business page, my personal page. I'll download it, put it on my Instagram as well. But you as a realtor, you should be joining every single group that's out there. All the for sale groups, all the garage sale groups, anything that has to do with for sale. Right, join all those groups. There's all kinds of groups. So once I downloaded this and I save it, I'm going to every single one of those groups and posting it. It's free advertising for you. Okay, free advertising. Another thing that I would do also is the day I would go put my signs out. Let's just say it's a Wednesday or a Thursday. I'm gonna go Facebook Live. I'm gonna take my camera and just do a quick video. I hate doing that, but Erica always pushes me to do them. Like today, I don't know if you guys saw the Onward group. I actually did a video. I don't like doing videos, but you got to get out of your comfort zone, right? You're gonna get a whole lot more interactions through Facebook because you have a Facebook video. If you go live, even more interactions. What's it called? Arithmetics, Facebook. Ah, there you go. Algorithm is a whole lot higher than just a basic post. Okay? Especially if you start getting those likes or those emojis, their algorithms are a whole lot higher. Yeah. If you know Spanish, you're doing 2 videos, not just one. Yep. You're doing one for the Spanish community, you're doing one for the English community. You can, I mean, you can do Spanglish, but if you want to focus just on one or the other and get more exposure, I would do 2. Okay. That's how I do my marketing. That's pretty much it. I don't know how much more. Like I said, I'm very straight to the point. So
It was very, very nice. Very clear.
Well, when I went to website
Where did you go on a website or did you actually go on the Facebook?
No.
Go to Facebook. Yeah, go to Facebook. The admin is Dale Irwin and Tiffany McDonald. Yeah, I've been going there for like 3 years now, so I'm still cheap. I $3 breakfast, you can't beat it, and it's a full breakfast. So. Yeah, but the sponsor, the person who's speaking, the title person, the inspector, they pick up the tab. You just leave the tip. $3 for the tip. That's it.
Well, it's networking too. You never know who you're gonna meet.
You really don't. Yeah. Yeah, and then they're always talking about like coming soons, buyer needs, seller needs, very specific. And I've gotten deals from there because we choose to go off market.
Have you ever gotten in there with bad vibes?
With like other agents, not networking through phone calls, yes, because
People that are wanting your business.
like as a client,
Like the windows.
yeah, there was one that I was very surprised. I'm not gonna go on the phone. Who's watching? So I'll go into detail. We got time. So I was using this lender for a very long time, right? And when I was telling you, the buyer's consultation determines which lender I'm going to be sending them. So this particular lender, he was my go-to for manufactured loans because not all lenders do manufactured loans. So he was my go-to. Once I sent it to him, I knew we were good. According to him, he didn't want to deal with those type of people because they were low-end buyers. And once he told me that, I'm like, a client is a client. I don't understand why would you even tell me that? But he pretty much said, you're wasting my time and I don't like you wasting my time and I prefer not to deal with this other clients. And to me, that was the Hispanic community. So I'm like, you disrespected me and my whole community and my whole race. What's wrong with you? And he's Caucasian. His wife is Hispanic. So I'm like, what? So that was a long story short. So I obviously we parted ways and I said, one to the next. Okay? To me, business is business. I'll treat everybody the same. Okay?
Edgar, do you
commercial lender, or do you know of a lender that does land loans? Because I know not all of them do, right?
Mhm.
And maybe
And
specific areas?
not necessarily, if somebody just asked me, I don't have one right now at the moment that I would, like, it's perfect.
Okay, yeah, 'cause somebody asked me that they're looking into buying land actually in Azle or Springtown and
I mean, I'm starting to see that smaller community banks are better for those versus traditional lender. Mhm.
And I bet Sadie knows when I can ask her. for it.
Okay.
I
Oh,
bet she
that would be
does. She has
nice.
a whole bunch of them.
Mhm.
that would be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Keep tabs on your lenders too. How are they communicating with you? Some of them don't even respond. So if they're not responding to you, why would you send them a client?
Yeah.
Do you ever get a loan with the,
I have had clients for my investment properties. I've done traditional financing for now because I only have those couple. Basically, when I bought them, I moved in it myself and then I moved out. So,
in 2 years or
no, within a year.
within a year?
Mhm. Mhm. So basically, what the lender told me, he's like, technically it is a year, but there's nobody really policing it. So there's no FHA police coming knocking on the door, making sure you still live there. Yeah. Anybody out there in Zoom have any questions? Yeah. Cool.
So when did you learn to enter? Because I haven't done my MLS training.
Mhm.
So is that when they show you how to enter an MLS, like enter ASD?
Yes, it's so.
Like, what if I get a listing? I don't know what to do. I'll be like, what?
So
Yeah.
yeah, once you sign up to the board, there is a class that you have to take, and you're literally there just killing time.
There's two. One's a video that shows you a lot of that.
Mhm.
There's an orientation.
I remember when I went for my orientation, it was literally they were introducing the board of like who's on the board for the association, and that was it. It was like the whole day.
It's not really, because
I didn't get an
Zoom
orientation.
right now.
That was me back 6 years ago. Yeah.
I had to take a day off work to go sit and Zoom and meet all these people.
Yeah. Now that you said that too, I remember there was a video that they sent out showing you some basics. Yeah.
Yes, I did that. That's how I got
And I took the MLS basic, but it was just like kind of navigating through looking for listings and stuff like that, but not setting one up
Yeah.
or an open
Yeah.
house.
Be on the lookout for like continuing education. There's title companies and lawyers, lenders that show you and teach classes for all that. And all these tools are very helpful. They're all at your disposal because you're paying for them. So whenever there's a class for Remind, Cloud CMA, tax records, take them. Continue your education. The most common that I use is the Cloud CMA and Remind. Yeah, just be on the lookout. Everybody's on the Onward Facebook page. Do you have Facebook? Yeah. So go on, type in KW Onward, and they should let you in.
I know that I got an email saying, hey, do you have a headshot for the Onward group? And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I don't have a headshot either, so.
Yeah, they'll also post on there like there's sponsors that will do free headshots.
I think there's one coming up, isn't it? Like the one for.
Yeah, I called them and they said like they do that once a year. And he said they already had one, so. And if I want to wait for it-
They'll do it out of the blue sometimes.
I think on the Christmas, there's an event coming up.
But
And it says headshots.
Yeah, her Kim Tarver, she's every Thursday too. She has a contracts class. Yeah, that's one of the ones like I'm always trying to be there.
Every Thursday.
Yeah.
you got it.
But everybody send me a Facebook request.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm just going on.
What's your name on Facebook? Because I can't see that board.
Oh, no, I'm on my wrong Facebook to do that. I think I wrote on my- I did request you, you haven't responded.
Me?
I think so.
Don't be undercover. No, there's no, seriously, there's some people that will send me a Facebook request and I don't recognize them on their picture, so I don't accept just anybody. I'm not trying to be rude. Mine?
That's from our personal email, I mean, our personal Facebook.
What do you mean?
That's okay. Are you ready for it soon?
Yep, look, look.
Yes, I had one with everyone, they wanted to.
Well, I see posts that you've made, but you don't actually come up with the source.
Can we see what you're
Yeah.
showing?
My Facebook?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What is it? Edgar.
Edgar Barrera.
Edgar Barrera.
So,
You went to tech?
I put this
To
one.
where?
You went to tech?
No,
Oh.
wrong Edgar.
So I did this one and you said to save the flyer to print out and go like, go, what do I need to save here?
No. For the flyer. Metrics. Cloud CMA. Flyer. Create flyer. Just say open house. You gotta name it. And then the property number. Grab that number. 1471.
No, that's not the one in the Irving.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Watch.
Oh, it's a good one. It looks like one. It looks like one because it started.
1471.
Oh, the analyst number.
Yeah, the MLS number. 1471. 2852.
On Fitch?
Yep. That's the correct. Oh, I want that. That's the correct. That's their address. Customize. There it is.
And then to print it out. Because I want to print it out.
Elizabeth. I don't know why I can't even.
We can always come back. New PDF.
Oh, so it's saved on my folder.
Yep, it's right here.
There's gonna be one that's Liz slang. I was trying to make it, it's a personal Facebook and it's separate, and then I have one I do business on, and I made it an incorrect last name. Iggy said, "Didn't know what I had, but Facebook is hard." It does, and you can add me on either, it doesn't matter, I'm just gonna be doing more business stuff. What's your business one? The full name, Elizabeth.
You have 970 followers.
Me? Why? It should be technically on the same Facebook.
I'm connected already.
All right, who's Maria? Okay. Beatriz? Beatriz.
But it's not Beatriz with the Z, it's BATRIZ.
No, you sent me a request, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Elizabeth?
Yes.
That's you? Okay. Angie? Hi, Angie. Rita Ann, I think is on Facebook, is on Zoom. Yanita?
I'm on Zoom.
Oh, okay, right on. I'm just confirming everybody on Facebook.
Hi, Edgar. I sent a request. This is Angie.
Hi, Sandy. Yeah, and if you guys are not part of the KW Onward group, this is the other one. This is for the all three offices. I'm gonna type it in right here. Yeah, I'm not the admin for that one, but I'm assuming anybody and everybody can join as long as they're KW with these offices. Dolores? Got it.
Actually, it's under forest because
What is your name? I'm sorry. Forest.
I had to have everything switched up and trying to switch everything over. It's a mess trying to switch everything.
Ah, there it is. Yes, ma'am. I have confirmed. Yeah, I think so. Did you send me one? Yeah, another thing, like I said, don't be undercover. If you're on Facebook, don't be undercover. There's some people that have like sunglasses and I don't recognize them. Same thing with your voicemail. Change your voicemail ASAP. Introducing yourself. Hi, this is so-and-so with Keller Williams. Please leave me a voicemail or please leave me a message. But as long as you're introducing yourself that you are a realtor now, remember, you are no longer undercover.
Okay, got it.
So what do you think? Are you gonna go for it?
Yeah, I think so.
My boyfriend is really, he's really, he has the money to kind of, he's wanting me to flip, help him flip, and I'm like, I
Okay.
can't do that. Yeah. I said, you have to be a real estate agent. But I do have a friend that introduced me to this one. She's a Keller Williams agent.
Who's your friend?
Is Teresa. She's in North Washington.
Oh, okay.
So, but I used to work over there and I worked with her mother for 10 years. Her mother retired.
So you did not send me a Facebook request, right?
No, I didn't.
So you have something set up to where it's not allowing me.
To get, yeah, because it's private. Yeah. So
Ah,
that's why I was like, you found me? That's weird. Are you sure you got me?
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I had it private, but I think I'm all clear now. It's been past 10 years, but I had a situation.
Right.
Ay,
No,
recuerda comenzar.
say that again. Say that again.
Rita?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. We weren't sure. We heard somebody. We weren't sure. So.
I'm sorry. It was me, Edgar. I'm sorry. I forgot to mute myself.
What's up?
Oh, no, nothing. I'm sorry. I said that I forgot to mute myself and I was
Oh,
talking
okay.
right here
Okay.
to my.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna shut it off now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Edgar.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
My dog. Like, okay, you have a dog.
Okay.
And I did have another question. I have to go register, right? To do anything. I can't get on anything. I'm not an agent.
Correct. So until you become an actual, have you said you started the classes? Here. The free one. No. I'm not talking about the Ignite classes or anything here.
Yeah.
The actual classes to take your test.
No.
Okay.
No, I was told that this would help me. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm.
Yeah, so the class today is just for newer agents.
Uh-huh.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. See, I was confused. I guess she told me just so I would be able to get in touch with people that are around my area.
So we just launched this program to where we are now offering free classes to get started in real estate. Everything will be done online and it's 110% free.
Oh, wow, okay.
I just sent you a message to Messenger. You guys like it, just fill it out and then they will contact you. The people in the office will contact you when the next class is and how to get started. This class is more designed for people who already got their license or just curious
Right.
on how to get started.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Yeah, I get, I mean, I guess that was a little confusing to her, like, okay.
yeah, so that's one way. I took my classes in Champions 6 years ago. They had that free program. I'm more of a person that needs to be in class and I cannot do online. So that even though if it was free, I would probably still go to an in-person session and just pay for it to pass my class. Or whatever. Okay. Sometimes since we're not friends, do you have a messenger?
Yeah, this is a business.
See right here, message request.
Okay.
They're hidden. So once you click on it and reply, it will show up in your regular box. So reply to me
Okay.
before you lose it.
Yes.
Absolutely. And like I said, you're more than welcome to take my number down too. If you ever have any more other questions, feel free. Give me a call, shoot me a text. Like I said, I'm more than happy to help out whenever I can.
I mean, it's like, I don't wanna. He's my boyfriend. He's all like, well, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah. There's
How
another.
serious are you?
Yeah. What does he do?
He works at GM.
Okay.
He does manufacturing.
Okay.
Benefits, he's been saving.
Yeah, no, there's a client. He just got transferred to the GM manufacturer. And he's looking for a house right now. So
Yeah, see, I mean, they all talk, and he's all like, already talked to some person who's already been through the class, and everything, you know, they were talking about partners.
yeah. Well, like I said, the statistics are really high for newer agents to quit, but as long as you're consistent and you're not giving up, patience is the key.
And I think that that man just took the market down, and
even when the market goes down, they're still going to be selling houses. If you have a good business setting up for that, you should have nothing to worry about.
gotta save yourself. Okay.
Makes sense?
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I'm learning how I can actually. Yeah, I'm a single mom, and I'm like.
Yeah. No, and it's honestly a mindset thing because, like I said, when I started, I came from a restaurant business.
Right.
I was up at all hours, so me finding a consistent schedule was very difficult, very different transition because I was doing that for 12 years, 10 years. So it was very different. But as long as you're up for it and you're willing to do it on your own, it can be done.
On
And
my own is kind of scary. Because I'm not doing it. That's
yeah.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
See
And,
how I can do it.
and another thing too, I mean, when you're coming from a workplace, you're used to that paycheck every 2 weeks, every week, every month. Here, if you're not putting the effort, there is no paycheck.
Right.
There is nothing. Nobody's gonna give you a handout. Yeah.
I'm not ready to do that.
Yep. Yep.
I have a question.
Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to see if this is, lo más probable van a vender, quieren comprar casa, pero agarran un préstamo y no tienen la contingency, tienen que vender su casa. So, estuve llenando el contrato y todo eso porque quieren poner una oferta y de hecho me ayudó Jean a hacerlo, pero estaba mirando esta forma en la Addendum for sale property and I don't understand this paragraph. Like, I mean, if they ask me, I don't understand it. Like, what does that mean? Like,
Okay. So this part. So when you're on the MLS, once it goes in a contract, there's 4. It says, like for example, my listing is an active. ¿Recuerdas?
yes.
Let me pull this up. It's actually gonna be better if I pull
I
it
was
up.
gonna make it.
No, está bien.
And they're just like reading it. I'm like, I don't get it.
Okay. So this is my listing, right? Right now, it's fully active. You can even
Active
see it.
status.
It says active, yeah. If
Okay.
I were to click on it. Okay. See right now it says active. Once they put it on the contract, it's going to go in 4 different categories. Okay. It's either going to go on active kickout, active option, active contingent,
Which that would be the case on this one.
or pending. Correct. So now that you're submitting this offer, you are telling them, I want it to go under active contingent. Okay. Or active kickout as well. It could be either or. Okay. By you filling this out, it's actually going to go under active kickouts. Meaning people are still able to see the property. And if somebody else decides to also submit an offer, they can kick them out.
Oh, really? This, my client.
Correct. So that is what that's saying right there.
Oh, okay. So they to give the 7-day, if the seller accepts a written offer to sell property, seller shall notify the buyer of such acceptance. So if they accepted the other offer, the seller requires buyer to waive the contingency. So now se tiene que enviar otra forma que dice waive of contingency, ¿verdad? If that's the case, if they say, well, you're out of the contract because we accepted another one, then my buyers will have to.
This falls on this. Because here, remember, you were telling them that on before December 23rd, you want enough time to make sure they sell the property, right? So up until December 23rd, they can technically walk out.
Oh, really?
But this is stating that they'll cut that time in half, whatever the case may be, by X amount of days. So you just want to kick out.
The sellers will cut the time in half, like they could.
Yeah, this shortens the time for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be confusing, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously the best, if you don't need it, then it's not needed.
Okay.
This new house, how long has it been on the market?
The house, it was weird, and that's another thing that, oh, well, that's good, because I was gonna ask you. It was out on the market, and it went back, and it was out for like 100 something.
Oh, I got it right here. What's the address?
Oh, okay. 2341.
2341.
Oak Leaf Trail. And then the owners are an LLC. And I tried to contact the agent and he never replied. She never replied. It's a girl. And then I tried to call the supervisor and he did not reply either. ¿Qué pasa con eso? ¿Es normal? De los LLC.
This is ID.
But it's not gonna print automatically, I don't think, because I had to go through a whole setting up my computer. You wanna see?
Yeah, you have to be set up in the system. Because it's, for me, it's my last 4 of my social.
Well,
But once I got it set up, it no longer asked for it when I was printing.
Yeah. So you wanna print it out, right? Okay. So if it's a lot, 789, if it's 789, that's the code. It's 789, and then you press it here and then press, and then you press on one of the. Okay, yeah, and so yeah, es una so ¿qué pasa? What's the deal?
Those are lazy realtors.
Okay, y veo como que están relacionados. I see si ves el listing agent.
They're related.
Well, the email over here, it has like the company's name kind of thing. Mira, Blue Mount, ¿sabe qué? Y luego mira, el nombre del owner is Blue Mount, Texas, or Mountain.
Yep, so they're related.
Right?
Yep.
So what do you do? Like, what would you do?
Relay that message to my buyers. I said, hey, I've already called them. I texted them, emailed them. I reached out to their boss. Nobody's returning my phone call. It's not a good sign when they're not responding. They're not, but I know this is a flipper. So it's just a lazy realtor.
Yeah, and it was weird porque apenas la pusieron otra vez al mercado. Like,
That's right here, the history.
Sorry, I just saw el otro día que decía back on the market or something. Where did you go? So I can see what you.
Aquí, see the clock?
Okay.
Aquí dice history.
Okay.
So.
¿Toda esa historia tiene?
Hey.
What? I'm like, what are you seeing?
So this property got listed on 6/24 in June. It has been on the market, off the market, on the market.
All those times?
Correct.
Goodness.
Pending, active.
This messy
They've already seen the property?
Yes, we went and saw. I mean, yeah, I took them over there a while ago. I mean, a couple of days ago. It's nice. It's pretty.
Something's wrong with it.
Okay. Well, maybe the foundation. Porque en un lado se siente rarillo. Y mire ahí que tienen en el disclosure, they had a foundation repair.
What type of financing are your clients getting?
Well, tenían FHA, pero ahorita ya lo cambiaron a conventional.
Why?
Because con el FHA y como tienen la contingency, ya tuvimos la experiencia de que checaron otra casa y el listing agent nos dijo que si tenían una contingency en FHA, era muy likely que el seller was not gonna do it.
Not this property, different property.
Yeah, a different one.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, FHAs are always at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, and I was really happy que hoy la cambiaron.
Okay.
No sabía yo que podían ir con otro lender y podían aplicar quizás por otro tipo de loan. I was like, oh, okay.
Who are they approved with?
Me dijo, apenas me mandaron la carta.
Absolutely.
It's been, son mis primeros clientes and it's been a lot, but I've been learning a lot. So
Yeah.
if anything, if it doesn't happen, I've been learning a lot. Porque I'm not like,
I'm just curious.
yeah, sex discrimination for
Field mortgage. Okay.
Y ya habían agarrado un mortgage con ellos la primera casa que compraron. So, cuando me llamaron, yo me referí con alguien más que me habían dado recomendación. So, fue la persona que les dio el FHA with the contingency. Y como miramos eso que ellos no hard and it's like, okay. So ellos ya fueron con ellos y apenas hoy me dieron la carta. Y de hecho me dijo el lender que para el lunes me puede dar, it's going to send the loan to underwriting. And then Monday he could give me like a proof of loan or like a.
So right now they're pre-qualified. Once they go to underwriting, they are pre-approved. Meaning they reviewed everything under underwriting,
Uh-huh.
and now the pre-approval is gonna be better than the pre-qualification.
Okay. Okay, so the other one would be.
Yeah, so sometimes when you submit those offers, they're gonna ask you, are they pre-qualified or are they pre-approved? Pre-approved is gonna be better because obviously they've already went through the underwriting and everything's fully analyzed.
Verified and everything, so that was kind of like ready to go in a way. Pero me dijo el lender con el que hablé hoy, me dijo, but for sure they have to sell the house, so.
This house, what's the price point of that house?
¿De cuál de esa?
The
¿O de
one
la que
that-
van a vender?
Yes,
Oh, it's like 180.
okay, perfect. It's gonna sell.
Es una mobile home,
Okay,
pero está en un half acre in Everman.
okay, keep going, because you need more information for that.
It's an older model. I have information. Let me give you the information. You might be able to tell me more. Would you able to do it?
No.
Nah.
We needed your,
They ask you for my pin?
Yeah.
Yeah, ha estado interesante esto, pero te digo,
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. So.
I'm like,
Okay,
okay.
so I know it's a mobile home already.
It's a mobile home.
Okay, is it a
Este-
single wide or is it double?
A double.
Perfect.
It's a double. And it was built in 1996 and it's at 2,100 square.
Are they the original owners?
No, I think they bought it
Okay,
about maybe 3-4 years ago. And it's in okay condition. It's not, I have seen it.
okay. Now, when they bought it, what kind of financing did they get?
FHA.
Perfect. Okay, the reason
I was
I,
like, yay, what?
because there is what's it called? Sometimes it doesn't qualify,
For,
FHA. Even if it's a mobile home, good condition, sometimes it doesn't qualify.
oh, yeah.
So one of the questions when I hear a client says I want a mobile home is when I call the listing agent, has the mobile home moved more than once? If it's been moved more than once, it's pretty much worthless, even though if it's in amazing condition.
Oh, really?
So if he got an FHA loan on it, he should be okay, as long as it hasn't been moved.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had pictures taken?
I haven't. So there's a house that's no these questions because I haven't had any. Apenas están decidiendo a venderla because they were so like, no, we don't want to sell. And then what if we're without a house, which it was understandable because then the loan that they had, it was like really hard to maybe get somebody to accept that. Pero
If
ahorita,
if they could hold on to that property, what were they planning on doing if they bought the other house?
selling it. They wanted to sell.
They wanted to sell no matter what.
Yes, they
Okay.
wanted to sell. I mean, they probably, because they still have a loan on the home, so they don't want to have to mortgage it.
Okay.
So-
No, well, the reason I ask is because when I did it for mine, I just got a tenant. Adios, have a good night. When I had mine and I was looking for another property, I got a tenant. Bye. Have a good day, Anu. I got a,
Maybe tomorrow, we could sit over there on the balcony. Oh, okay. What's up? Okay.
yeah, so when I got mine, I got a tenant in there and I just showed proof. This tenant is lined up. I don't need to sell that property because I already have the mortgage covered. So that's how I was able to get another property.
But did they sell that? Did they tell you that you kind of had to sell it?
No,
No?
no,
Okay.
I just made sure that my documents, my lease agreement, when I was gonna rent it,
Uh-huh.
was more than what my mortgage was, and that,
Okay.
so my debt went away because I had something else covered. So that's why it's important to make sure you're explaining everything right. If they're wanting to rent it out, it's doable, but because you're the tenant, obviously. But if they don't want to mess with it at all, then obviously they need to sell it. So when you submit this offer,
Mhm.
once you figure out the paperwork on the lingo, when you submit it, the listing agent, pretend I'm the listing agent, I'm gonna call you and say, I see that you're contingent on this listing.
Mhm.
Show me the paperwork for your listing. Is it already under contract? Is it on the market? Do you even have pictures? Is it even listed?
Okay.
If you say no to all those, that offer you just submitted, it's worthless to you.
So it better be in the market already when you submit orders. I mean, offers.
So that's the hard thing
Kind
that's
of thing.
happening in this market.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want to say they need, so obviously this is gonna be a good house because it's been sitting there for a while,
Uh-huh.
if that agent picks up the phone. So they don't have any other offers because it's been sitting there for 6 months and for whatever reason, it keeps coming back on the market. So my question to him is, what's going on with the property? Why is it coming back on the market? Is there something that's not fully disclosed because we're seeing it's consistently coming back? And this is where you hope it's a good agent and it's hopefully one of those ones que hablan y hablan y hablan, they'll give you everything about their mom and their
Okay.
baby daddy. That's
Okay.
the agent you want. There's some that are very close-lipped and won't give you anything, but the more they talk, the better. Find out what's going on with this property. Prepare your buyers that something's wrong with this because you can already see it keeps coming back on the market. So they might go out and spend a home inspection and it might be useless because something's wrong with it. Okay. Now you get over that, and let's just say this agent is willing to go ahead and take your offer, but he says you got to get that house on the market within 2 weeks.
Within
a week,
a week.
because every day you're wasting is another day that contingent can go out the door.
Mhm.
So
How long does it take to put it in the market? Like, or what's the process like?
so it's a vague question.
Mhm.
You've seen the property. Does it need any work?
Yes, they told me, I've seen it months ago, and they told me that they need to do some cosmetic repairs.
Okay.
And that it would
So
take them.
if this was months ago, when was the last time you seen it?
Yeah, it's been months.
Okay, so
yeah.
now you need to go over there and say, we're gonna get ready. I'm doing all this work for you guys to submit this offer.
Mhm.
When can I see this property?
Mhm.
If they say, well, it's not ready, there's no reason for you to be doing all this work if the house is not ready.
Yeah.
If they say, all right, it's ready to go, come check it out, perfect, that's what I want to hear. It means they're motivated, they're listening, and all this work needs to be done. So when you show up at that property, this is where you gotta be very, very honest with your sellers.
Okay.
When I start my listing appointments, I always tell them, please do not get offended with the conversation we're about to have, because the conversation I want to have is a very honest conversation about you,
About the property.
about the property condition, if any changes need to be done. Especially
Mhm.
gente Latina.
Yeah.
Because have you ever walked into like somebody's house, their kitchen is like bright yellow or bright purple?
Mhm.
They're so proud of it because they painted
Colors that they
themselves.
like, yeah.
But you're gonna have to bring them down to reality. Or it's the gente Latina that has an uncle that can do tile work, another uncle that can paint. Exactly. I've walked into properties, and as soon as I walk through that door, I see 5 different types of floor. To them, it's great condition, but you got to bring them down to reality. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so let's just say they are in great condition. They did everything that you told them. It's ready to list the property. Your next phone call is, all right, I'm gonna get a photographer out here and I'm gonna have pictures taken ASAP.
Okay, can I put it in the, can we put it in the market, even before it's ready, just like a coming soon? What benefits or no,
Not
not really?
necessarily. We used to,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of people got offended because they were saying we were not showing it to the full potential as coming soon.
Which people, the ones
Other realtors were-
reviewing? Oh,
Other
really?
realtors were complaining.
Okay, because I was like, I guess that the sooner that it's put in the market for the other offers, that's kind of my concern, like.
So we're not technically allowed to sell our own listing, right? Yes, we can, but we're technically not supposed to.
Mhm.
So basically, long story short was there was realtors that were selling their own properties that way they could keep the full commission, so splitting it with somebody else.
Oh,
And
okay.
instead of presenting every single offer, they were not, and they were hiding it. So a seller and another realtor obviously filed a big lawsuit, and we can no longer technically do that. We cannot advertise any coming soon. Nobody can go see the property. Any realtor, nobody can go see that property if you have a listing agreement signed.
I've seen some on MLS, like coming soon. What's the, I mean, like.
You can post it 24 hours in advance.
Oh, really? Just 3 hours?
That's
I
it.
didn't know that.
All that changed.
Well, I thought it was like a month. 6 days or something.
I mean,
Wow.
there's nobody policing it, but if you piss off another realtor and they're spying on your Facebook
That
and they
report
see
you?
it, do you think they're not going to report you?
Okay.
And for yourself, are you willing to put up your license just to get caught just because of something
Okay.
like that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, because like, what would you do? If you were in my situation, what would you do?
So the next step that I would do, get the pictures ready to go. So you know how I said earlier, I list my properties on Thursday. The only times I don't is when it's a situation like this, because obviously we need to get this on the market ASAP.
Okay.
Okay, because all this will be contingent.
To the other offers that they submit, right?
Correct. And some people are very laid back. Hopefully these sellers get to that point where like, all right, we're on a deadline. We got to meet all these dates. And if we don't, we could potentially be homeless and lose out on a lot of money. So.
And I kind of did the research about how long does it take to sell a property like that, which it was kind of hard because all the.
Where's the house?
It's no.
Everman?
It's over there by
Barrera?
I think it's
Somewhere south.
somewhere over there.
Okay, so it's not too far out.
It's not too far out.
It's far out, but not way out in the boondocks.
No.
Okay, so the house should sell. As long as it's priced right, it's well taken care of, maintenance is done, it should sell. It's under 200, it's gonna sell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I've been like, what to do, but yeah, thank you so much for, gave me some pointers. ¿Dónde empezar o cómo ayudarnos? Okay, I mean, that wasn't my concern. They're like, what if we're like, at a house? ¿Y por qué no los iban a aceptar con ese tipo de loan? I mean, que tenían. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think the chances are a lot better now, right? With the conventional, seems like.
Yes, their chances are better, and as long as the pictures are ready to go, like even before you started showing this house, I would have told them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, even before you.
This is it, right?
Oh no,
That's
sir.
not for today. I don't think it was today.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is not it? Oh.
Yeah, even before I would have showed that property, I would have told them we got to get everything ready. That way, I can hit that send button to list that property.
Before showing
Any properties to them.
Oh, about yeah. Because I've been working on that a lot, like going like all the way to.
Do you have a listing agreement signed?
Not yet.
Yep. So get that.
I know that they're like kind of a family member, which.
Okay. Well, let's see. That's good that you trust them.
Yeah.
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 So.
But, well, I mean, I don't know if they're at the end, they're gonna be like, you know what, maybe we'll wait. Because I have felt that they were thinking that way at some point. Like, it was too much going on. Like,
Sometimes if you go
it's
too
very
many options,
stressful.
They start getting also uninterested.
yeah, because they were responding to my emails. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? And I really didn't mind the time that I had spent because, like I said, I've been learning a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, and that's one thing too. You also got to think about too. It's very, very stressful, and if you're stressing out and you're worried about it, they're gonna feel that through the conversation. So don't let it affect you. Don't worry about it. You got to learn how to let go. Because I've heard agents, they literally cry themselves to sleep because there's something out of their hands.
But you're also giving up a lot of your time and you could be helping.
Yeah, but you have to learn how to let go. Yes, it's a big investment for this client, but that's another reason why realtors drop out, because they cannot handle all that stress because it's literally somebody's life savings, life goals that you're dealing with. And if you get too attached to it, you're not going to sleep at night. And I'm not trying to be rude, but it's more personal health for yourself.
right, that is right. I mean, but I guess us like you that we really think, I mean, I'm thinking over here, what a new way of doing things, or, you know, and they ask you something and you're like.
And it's okay to say, I don't know. My first listing, I went against 2 other agents, seasoned agents. And one of my first lines said, hey, I'm a brand new agent. I'm learning. If I can't answer your questions, I'll get back to you. I beat out 2 other agents, seasoned agents, and I got the listing. As long as you're upfront and honest. Yeah. It's sad. I don't want to say it too, but like, don't let that paycheck get in front of you.
I
Put it
haven't
in the
even
back
been
burner.
thinking like, and this will be here, I saw that they only pay 2.5 commission. And, but I really haven't even made the math because I'm like, I don't even want to think about it right now because
Yep.
I really want to concentrate on
The action.
the action and the
Yeah,
learning
you
experience. I don't wanna
always-
mess it up.
Always come from contribution. Always come from contribution. If you're not thinking that way, I don't want to say, but you're not going to last because you're thinking about the paycheck and not thinking about the plan.
Yeah, right now I'm like, okay, well, I'm just trying to help,
Mhm.
just trying to give them the right information. I really appreciate it. Edgar. Mucho gusto, de verdad.
Claro que sí.
Todo.
Thank you for all your help. I-
Absolutely.
It's nice.
Absolutely. Like I said, my office is right there. You have my phone number now. Call me, text me. I'm always available. You guys have you guys' information. Like I said, that's the best part is what's your desk for?
Yeah. Company I worked with for 10 years. And sorry, I haven't done it.
Oh,
Yeah, I just sent you one. Okay, yeah, okay.
okay.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.